Hi, hello, it's Cassie Felix, and here with not an introduction that'll make me look like a complete and total derp, but an actual book review and book talk for you guys. This I will say right now before I even say the book title. It will not be completely spoiler free, but I will definitely give a signal to when the safe part of the video ends and where the spoiler having parts begin. Today we're going to be talking about John Green's Looking for Alaska. Oh, there's a glare, oh no. But yeah, Looking for Alaska. So if you haven't read it and you want to sit here and discuss it with us, it's totally cool. But just be ready to hear my signal, and yeah. And if you have read it before, then come discuss with me and feel and express so much emotion. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so for those of you who have not read this book, Looking for Alaska is about this boy named Miles Halter who is pretty normal, but has a thing for memorizing people's famous last words. He likes reading biographies about people, including writers, though usually cannot sit still an actual novel written by someone whose biography he's already read. He can tell you things from presidents' last words to how much he seeks the great perhaps, which was the subject of Francois Rabelais' parting words. But after he gets to his new boarding school, Culver Creek, and meets the gorgeous and endlessly fascinating Alaska Young, there's one question that keeps him wondering. Damn it, how will I ever get out of this labyrinth? The parting words of Simon Bolivar. He makes friends with this strangely interesting Alaska, as well as his roommate Chip Martin, also known as the Colonel, Takumi Hikahito. Sorry. They spend their junior year pulling off pranks and learning about world religions and smoking. Like, a lot. The book is divided into two sections. There's before, which I will find now because it has a pretty cool looking cover. It's just simple before, and then there's after, which comes about more than halfway through the book. The entire book, you're sitting there enjoying it and wondering what exactly is before and what exactly is after. You have no idea. It gives no hints because John Green is absolutely fabulous. Before you reach after, you have no idea what is to come in after, and you have no idea how significant every moment is in before. I'm not gonna say it yet because this is still the spoiler-free section, but let's move on. This book itself has a really nice feeling to it. I read many books that unfortunately feel forced and they seem to drag on for too long, but this book is pretty lacking in that. It just keeps going, which was one of the first books I've read in a while where I didn't really mind reading it for long periods of time. Most books you kind of just have to take a break from, but I found myself glued to this book at a lot of times, most of which were before I got to after and when I started getting really close to the after part. Excuse me, I'm still sick. This is the second book I read from John Green, and he definitely didn't disappoint. The first book I read was The Fault in Our Stars, and I thought it'd be great to read a book by John where a character didn't die. Sorry about that. So anyway, this book was absolutely wonderful, and I recommend it to people who enjoy John Green and enjoy Tiffio's or The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So this is gonna be the end of the spoiler-free part. I'm really sorry, but if you haven't read it, go read it, go read it, go read it, and then you can come back and discuss it and feel, and it'll be great. Okay, here you go. Here, happy birthday. There you go. Okay, go read it. Bye! La! Welcome back! So to the people who have read Looking for Alaska, or the rebels who stayed anyway and want to get spoiled, I cried so many times! Because why? Just why does John Green get a feeling of happiness when he kills his characters? I really wonder. Because Alaska was my favorite character, and to have her die was just really... No. John Green, why? So, enough of my emotional rambling. It's just so wonderful, and I have an entire Word document on my iPad full of my favorite quotes and my favorite sections, and every little character had so many good parts, and I have like 2 speeches from Dr. Hyde, and when Pudge got kicked out of his class, and when Alaska said, oh, this is just total bullshit. I listened to the audiobook along with this book because I read kind of slow when it's the weekend and when I'm kind of feeling sick. So I was listening to the audiobook as I was reading it, and the reader person had the perfect accent for Alaska that I imagined, and just she's so not really sarcastic, but it's just great, her personality. I love it. I loved Pudge and the Colonel and Takumi, and I loved all their adventures, and I loved their pranks, and I loved Laura, and I loved their final prank. Oh my gosh. Alaska would have been so proud of them, and I just feel so much for these characters and this book, this entire thing. I didn't really think that a character death would be what after was. From the beginning, I thought, okay, this is kind of weird. It's split up before and after. Maybe it's looking for Alaska because he's looking to hook up with Alaska. I don't know. I thought that after would be like just after their time together. I don't know. But then they like started, making out in the bed, and I was just like, wait, this just stopped. So what could be after? Why is she crying? Why are they letting her go out to drive when she's drunk? This isn't gonna end well. I was very sad. Sorry, I was very sad when I got to after, but just the way that they worded it, let me find it. Just the way that they worded it was kind of perfect. Just the whole conversation between Pudge and the eagle. Just, no, I said to him, Alaska isn't here. The eagle looked down. Is everyone else here? Alaska isn't here. Okay, Miles, thank you. We can't start without Alaska. The eagle looked at me. He was crying noiselessly. Tears just rolled down from his eyes to his chin and then fell onto his corduroy pants. He stared at me, but it was not the look of doom. His eyes blinking the tears down his face, the eagle looked for all the world sorry. Please, sir, I said, can we please wait for Alaska? I felt all of them staring at us, trying to understand what I knew now, but didn't want quite to believe. Last night, Alaska Young was in a terrible accident, and she was killed. Alaska has passed away. Ugh! I almost threw the book against the window when I was in the car and I read this, and I was just so much full of emotions and so angry. But I mean, it was written so beautifully because John is John, and how can I be mad at John for being John? After this, I had to go on Tumblr and just look through everything, all of the looking for Alaska quotes, and all of the little fan arts and people thinking about Augustus Waters and Alaska Young up in heaven together, and they're having conversations, just, feelings! Looking for Alaska was absolutely wonderful, and I don't want to spend any more time being all emotional. Oh gosh, too much emotions. So, yeah, that was my review. I probably would give it 4.75 out of 5. Because, I don't know, it just felt like there should have been a little bit more. I'm not quite sure. The way that it ended was kind of odd, I think. I had the same issue with The Fault in Our Stars, the way it ended. How it just had the transcript of Gus's letter to Peter Van Houten. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing with John Green and he likes to end his books weird, which is not a problem at all. But I think the ending was the only problem I had with this book. Everything else was absolutely fabulous, and they're so funny and just so much feelings. Okay, So if you like looking for Alaska, leave your opinions and why you loved it down in the comments below. And if you didn't like it, I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. You can comment down below, or you can go send me an ask on my blog. The blog link is in the description and it's on my YouTube page. So if you have a recommendation for any book that you want to see me do next, I have a library card and my best friends are the librarians, so I spend a lot of time at the library. So, okie dokie. Until then, have a lovely day. I hope you go on a fabulous adventure. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover or spine, because you never believe the awesome sauce inside. Alright, bye!